Good morning. I'm Janie Parrish with the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce, and you are zooming right into almost Sharon Center with the Ruhlin Company. So good morning, Don.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Good. Now, this is Don Reif, and Don was just a speaker with our Wadsworth Young Professionals, and everybody went, wow, with your story. And then, and you're a vice president at Ruhlin Company.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so tell us, I think everybody and their brother has always seen the Ruhlin signs around. And so tell us exactly what Ruhlin does.
Very good. So Ruhlin, so most people either know us as a building group or as a person that works on the bridges and roadways. But we do both, and that makes us pretty unique in the industry. Having been around since 1915. We've been doing, we started out in the building industry and graduated into the highway side. We have an industrial group, and we have a structural erection group, which works on lift bridges. So we can talk a little bit maybe in a second about some of the local projects that folks might know.
That would be great. Now, I don't understand why that would be something that's unique when you said about the building and the roadways.
Yeah, they both have unique skill sets. So one takes all the heavy cranes and the concrete expertise and understanding structural steel, and the other one is building drywall finishes and foundations and things. So usually you get a contractor that has one or the other. There's not many out there that do both.
So tell us, what are you working on right now? What are some of your projects?
Well, if you see us on the Highway 76 going towards Akron, we're finishing up the end of the where they extended Wadsworth all the way from Wadsworth to Akron. As soon as they got that 3-lane widening done, we started our project there and slowed everything up. And we're down in downtown Akron redoing the roads down there. So, when on the building side, we have continuing work with the Cleveland Clinic. With SUMA, we just finished up their project at Fish Creek over in Ste A. So lots of healthcare work going on right now, which is great to see after the pandemic.
Oh boy, you guys are busy. Yeah. How many people do you employ?
We have 90 full-time employees in our offices, our construction professionals. And then we have between 150 to 300 folks in the field out there actually swinging hammers and putting work in place, depending upon the time of the year and what projects we have going on.
Now, if somebody has a burning desire to work for this stellar company, what should they do?
So there's a couple avenues to get into Ruhlin. So obviously we hire construction professionals, estimators, project managers, business development folks, office staff. So that, obviously that's your traditional collegiate route, going to construction management or engineering. And then we also hire trades. So folks can get into the trade unions and we pick them up there. We're hiring for the project in Akron right now.
Okay, good to know. So now Ruhlin is a family business.
Yes, Ruhlin. So Ruhlin is since 1981 is actually an ESOP, which is again another unique thing that we have. So we're employee owned, but we do have the Ruhlins helping to run the company. So Jim Ruhlin has been president for the last 20 years, and I'm proud to say that Jim Ruhlin Jr. is the new president and will be the president and CEO after a year of overlap with his dad.
Oh, that's very nice. Yep, another generation coming up there. Right. Absolutely. Hey, Don, why do you love what you do?
So in business development, I get to work with a lot of great clients. So, and that's what makes my day enjoyable. I help them, realize what their construction goals are, and then I get to learn about a lot of unique companies, both here in Medina as well as all over the state of Ohio. And then obviously you build up great friendships over the years. So, that's something I really enjoy.
Oh boy, I'll tell you, and Ruhlin has always been known as a stellar company and a great community partner.
Yeah, the family atmosphere here is not just something that, some people say they have a real family atmosphere. We really do. Everybody gets along, and the ESOP culture really helps with, everybody wants to pitch in and do the best job they can do because it's the best thing for the company and it benefits everyone. Everybody gets along, and we enjoy working here.
Oh, that is so wonderful. So how can people find you?
So people can find us, we are just north of Wadsworth on Route 94, south of the circle. So our offices are on Ridge Road. Or you can go to www.ruhlin.com.
Boy, I tell you, it's amazing that the number of years that Ruhlin has been in business, and you keep growing and growing and growing.
Well, I have to tell you a funny story. We started back in 1915 over in Creston, and our first building was a K through 12 school, and we built that for $1 a square foot.
Oh my gosh.
We get a lot of requests to hold that price, but we can't do that anymore.
You just can't quite do that. Probably $1.50 now.
Right.
Well, Don Wright from Ruhlin Company, thank you so much. And thanks for all you do, not only for Ohio, but also for our community, because Ruhlin has always been known as a great community partner. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Janie. Have a great day.
You too. Good morning. I'm Janie Parrish with the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce, and you are zooming into business with two legends in Wadsworth, Ohio. Look, Annie's going, what? But it's the truth. So welcome to Paul and Annie Bicksler. And this is a red letter week for you guys because you are starting the next chapter in your lives.
We are.
We are.
Yeah. Okay. So of course, everybody knows that Bicksler Electric has now locked its doors after 107 years. And you both have worked so incredibly hard, to keep Bicksler's going. And it's a good thing to retire. Yeah.
It is. It was
It
time.
is, yeah.
It was a hard decision. Well, give us a little history about Bicksler Electric.
Well, my grandfather started the business in 1914. All four of the brothers were involved in the business. So there was Bert, Wes, Bruce, and my father, Eldon. In the mid 1960s, Bert actually went out to California and he started working for the aircraft company. So it was the three brothers that were running the business. And in 1970, I was a freshman in high school. I started working kind of like as a stock boy down at the store. And then after I graduated in 1973, I was working at the store full time and going to the University of Akron. And that's, of course, I started in the building that was down in front of the CIS building,
Okay.
which is
I
where the
remember
parking lot
that.
is now. And when the school system bought that building, we moved up to our present location at 114 High Street. I believe that was 1983. And we've been up there ever since. But I started working actually for my dad and my two uncles. Bruce, of course, ran the, the electrical department. Wes kind of worked in the office, and my dad ran the store. But I kind of worked all facets of the store. Like I said, starting as a stock boy, and then I worked on deliveries. I did some electrical work, and then I, of course, went into the store and started running the store back in the, I guess it was about the early 90s when I took it over.
So I don't know the answer to this. Of course, I don't know the answer to a lot of things. However, when the store started in 1914, or Bicksler Electric, what was the main source of revenue for that?
At that time, it was electrical work. Grandpa did strictly electrical work. Now, it was just a couple years after that, General Electric and some of these other companies started developing appliances for the home, and that's when Grandpa got into actually selling the major appliances. At that time, he was into light fixtures and all that type of work, but it all kind of came together. And of course, on our business card, it says Bicksler Electric, things electrical, because basically anything that was electrical, my grandfather was selling at the time.
And did wire most of the businesses in downtown.
Most of them in down, yeah, the schools and the bank buildings and stuff were acquired by Grandpa.
So it actually, kind of the appliances took over the electrical part.
It did. We ran the electrical up, actually up until the housing crash, 10 years ago or so. And that's when I disbanded that part of the business, which actually was a separate entity altogether. And we just concentrated on the appliance end of it due to the housing crash at that point.
Now you're in a co-op to make you competitive.
We got involved in that again. That was in the early 1980s. It was right after we moved up to the new location. And of course, that was our salvation because prior to that, we were having a hard time competing with all the box stores. I mean, they were buying in big volume. So we are part of Key Midwest, which later we disbanded that and joined with Nationwide. And of course, Nationwide is now the biggest buying group in North America. Not really sure what we did in volume last year, but the year before it was over $15 billion. So we have like 4,000 storefronts across America.
Wow, boy, and you know what? I think that a lot of us, I know I have seen on Facebook that our grandparents bought appliances from Bicksler Electric, our parents, and now us, and now our children have bought appliances from Bicksler Electric. And one of the things that we heard over and over again is about your excellent customer service. And you can't teach anybody that. That just comes from generations.
Yeah, we try. I mean, we try to back our customers. I mean, if there was any issues, we always tried to go the extra mile for them. And, if there was a service issue or something, which is something that as a small independent, most of us do that,
Sure.
versus the box store. I mean, then you're kind of becoming a number, but.
Right. Now, of all the appliances that you've sold over the years, and I am sure that there's thousands.
Yes.
Yeah. What was your very favorite one to say when people came in? This is just perfect. This is just an absolute something you have to have in your home.
Well, probably going back years ago was Maytag washers and dryers. I mean, when you purchased one of those, you did pay a lot more money for them, but you also knew that you were going to have a product that was going to hold up and last in the home for 20 to 30 years, no problem. Which those are that day's kind of gone, with the exception of now Speed Queen has kind of taken over the spot that Maytag used to have there, like the commercial washer for the residential industry.
Oh, that's nice, because nobody wants their appliances to be disposable.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want a Bic lighter when you're buying a refrigerator.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's for sure. So how have you seen things change in Wadsworth over the years?
Well, we've always had very faithful customers in Wadsworth, but advertising, no matter what you say, word of mouth advertising has been the best.
Yeah.
And we've gotten so many referrals over into Summit County and Wayne County, and that's from a lot of customers in our area. But and then they spread the word to their friends, and that's how we've grown over the years. From word of mouth.
Oh gosh, and there's nothing better.
No,
Yeah.
it's still the best advertising there is.
Yeah. And it's got to be wonderful when people came in and say, Mr. Smith referred me here. He had such a great experience. Yeah. So those, Annie, tell us about your job at Bicksler Electric.
Oh boy. Well, I actually met my hubby I was studying to be an accountant, and I worked upstairs in an accounting firm. And Paul would bring up the books every month, and I asked him out first, and he said no. He said no. Yep. And then a couple of weeks later, he asked me out, and we've been together for about 38 years. We had 2 beautiful children that we have adopted. But I have an accounting background. That's what my degree is in. And I did all the book work, all the phone calling, payroll. helped out on the sales floor when needed. I did not like doing that. I just get very flustered and nervous, but basically I did all the book work and the accounting end of it, ordering, payables, receivables, that sort of thing.
Now, something tells me vacations haven't been high on the priority list in the Bicksler home.
Yeah. Now for the past 4 or 5 years, we have not been anywhere.
No, when you have a family business, you do spend a lot of time at
6
that
days a
business.
week, 7:30 to 7 o'clock at night, and
Oh,
even on
boy.
Sundays, even though we are done and the store is closed, I am still doing payables and receivables this morning, right before you started this. So
Oh,
it's
boy.
not ended yet. So
Now, how have you seen things change in accounting over the years?
oh, it's more digital now. Everything is more electronic, which I had to actually go to school and learn a lot. But it's much quicker, but there's more fraud involved also.
Okay.
We have had identity theft, not only personally this year, but also in the business, which we had to stop and close and reopen, and a lot of accounting procedures. But I just find it so hard that someone can be so quick to do fraud when you're trying to run a small business. Everyone thinks you make so much money in a small business, and you don't. There's a lot of involvement with he and I together, with Paul and I together, and just with the fraud is, I think, the biggest thing I have seen.
Now, how was it for all these years working together? Because I got to tell you, I give you a lot of credit.
Well,
Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
We have a lot of people ask us that, and it's like, gosh, you guys go to bed together and you wake up together, you work together. But Paul has his knack of doing the floor and sales and dealing with a lot of the customers and service issues, where I did a lot of just the book work. And I think we got along great.
We did.
I mean, we had a lot of people say, I don't know how you guys do it, but
I didn't have to tell her what to do. She'd find something to do. And so we've always worked well together.
And I enjoyed what I did. I enjoy accounting. I enjoy working with numbers. That was my thing. And I would just go in and work, and he would do his thing. And then at 6 or 7 o'clock, okay, let's go home. I'm like, okay. So
Okay, time to go.
yeah, start a new
Now,
day.
What, Paul, I wanted to ask, you have to have seen a huge shift in appliances over the years. Like the other day when I was in the store, I saw a wine cooler. Well, 10 years ago, I don't think I'd ever seen a wine cooler.
No, we grew up with a simple, basic refrigerator in our home, and seems like today, the people have a main refrigerator in the house. They'll have a garage refrigerator, and then so many people have beverage and wine chillers. So it has really changed. From when I grew up anyway. I mean, most homes just had the one refrigerator. That was it.
Yeah, boy, isn't that the truth?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, well, I got to tell you, I'm so proud of you two for stopping working, because you have put your heart and soul into Bicksler Electric, just heart and soul. And then to be able to stop at this time in your life where you could finally take a vacation that just isn't a weekend. Yeah,
Yes.
you can get things done around the house, because I'm sure that that was kind of like the last thing, after working like that. But generational things are just amazing, truly, that people have been able to sustain that, and for those generations, I mean, that is incredible. Yeah. And I do know that the last couple of years have been pretty difficult, not only with the COVID, finding good workers, to make your deliveries. And then recently, it's been hard to get appliances.
Yes.
That was part of our decision. The companies were telling us that it's probably going to be a good year to year and a half to get, supply chains back up to normal. But
Oh.
it was just simple, basic things when you can't order a white
Mhm.
dishwasher and you might have it in 6 months. And we had ordered freezers that took 15 to 16 months to come in.
Well, I still had stuff on order from last March that I ordered, and I still haven't
Mhm.
even received them.
But most of the
Oh.
factories are either working at a reduced capacity right now, and some of them are actually shut down. I mean,
Mhm.
Speed Queen, they sent us an email probably 6, 7 weeks ago that they wouldn't accept any orders indefinitely, that they no longer had a workforce. And so my
Oh,
sales
boy.
rep, when he came in, I asked Dane, I said, what is happening? And he says, Paul, it's between the stimulus money and their unemployment. We cannot get them back into the factory.
Mhm.
Now, those are produced up in Ripon, Wisconsin. And supposedly this bonus stimulus money was going to end sometime in July up there. So they thought that they'd be able to get them back into the factory. But once they get them back to the factory, it's going to be a couple of months before they can start really shipping a lot of product out. So they're telling us later in the fall. Pretty much the same scenario with Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Amana. A good example, we tried to get a white KitchenAid dishwasher for a customer. We had it on order since October of last year. Now they're telling, and it kept dating,
Dating back.
it date like to May and then June, then July. Well, the latest was it might be produced in either October or November, but
Oh.
again, that could back up. We may not even
Mhm.
see them this year. And that just made the
Yeah.
decision that much
It was
easier.
just getting hard, to tell our customers. I mean, we tried to be upfront and honest and tell everyone, it's just a production issue right now and we can't get product. And sometimes they would look at you like, what? What are you saying? But even when the box stores are calling us and saying, hey, do you have a Frigidaire or a Whirlpool refrigerator? No, we don't. And we can't get it. I mean, so it's nationwide. It's not just in Ohio, it's nationwide. And it was getting hard to tell people, I'm sorry, I can't get you
Sure.
anything,
Yeah.
and so it was just like a sign. It was a sign for us.
And they're actually even having a supply issue with repair parts to repair
Mhm.
the product.
Mhm.
Oh
They're running
my
that
gosh.
nationwide back order because so many of the parts are coming from
Because
Mexico,
when you
China,
need,
South Korea.
oh, I'm sorry, Paul. When you need a refrigerator, you can't wait.
Right,
No,
right. You
yeah.
can't, you can't.
Yeah, I couldn't wait on a dishwasher.
No, no.
I know when that thing goes every day, I'm depending on it.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Okay, so what are your plans? What have you been talking about? Like, what do you want to do?
Well, we did a lot of traveling prior to the kids. I mean, we did a lot of international traveling, traveled most parts of the country, but we still, I mean, there's a lot of places we haven't been yet that we want to do, visit.
Mhm.
And we're looking forward to just getting away on some weekend getaways,
Yeah.
short trips and stuff like that.
We have
So,
some friends who just moved to Michigan and we're gonna go up and see them in August. And Olivia, we still have our daughter. She'll be a senior in high school next year, so she'll be going back to school the end of August. So we have like July and August to do fun things with our kids, and then after that, we'll just just relax, be able to breathe,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
relax.
sure.
Not having to get up at 4:30 every morning is something, but I
Oh.
still do. I still wake up 4:30. I'm up and at 'em. Here I
You'll get over it.
am.
that's what they say.
So we know you have Olivia, and who's that other fabulous young man that you're the proud parents of?
Yeah, that would be our son Drew, who just had his 23rd birthday. And of course, Drew is a pretty active guy. He's working multiple jobs. He works with the City of Wadsworth at WCTV, and he's a dog catcher. And he also works up for Bob up at Rise and Grind. And if Dan gets real busy at the funeral home or something, sometimes they'll help him out over there. So he keeps very busy.
He does, and he volunteers at the Wadsworth
He does
Chambers
a
of
lot of,
Commerce.
Yes, he
lot of
does.
volunteering.
Yes, he does a lot of volunteering.
Yeah, he's our #1 volunteer, I always
Yeah.
tell him. We've had a lot of good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just likes to keep busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does, so dependable too. You
Mhm.
raised a
Yeah.
wonderful,
Yes, he
both
is.
of your children are wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, so anyways, what was the final thing that made you decide it was time to retire?
Well, probably we both had some minor health issues, as you know, but I've had a lot of orthopedic issues, and
He's having one right now, and we're going
well,
back
I've
to
got
the
a back
surgeon.
issue going again, but I have had 12 orthopedic surgeries, and so I got to go see the doctor again. And
What a way to retire, you know? Oh, welcome to retirement. We're going to have to probably have a back surgery now. So,
Oh,
and hopefully I'll
well,
get through with
the
that,
nice
but
thing is that you don't have to worry about who's at the store.
no,
That's
Yeah,
right.
no.
that you
That's
can
right.
take care of those things and not have to worry about it.
Mm.
And I just had another stent put in my heart, and unfortunately, right after that, I had to go out on the delivery truck. One of my employees didn't show up that day, and it's just that type of work that I shouldn't be doing anymore.
Right.
You know, you feel young at heart, but the bottom line is I am 67 years old. And like the doctor said, he said, you cannot do that type of work anymore. So I just figured, you know what, this is the time to do it. There's just so many factors that are working into it, and timing is everything. Our inventory was at an all-time low, and I knew to close this business down, you know, you got to move your excess inventory, and it would have never been easier to do than what it was this year, because just the bottom line that we couldn't get a lot of stuff. So it made my decision pretty easy.
Well, you have left a huge mark on the history of Wadsworth,
thank you.
Ohio, and that's for sure. And not only a huge mark, but a huge, great mark, you know, for your customer service. And you just think about how many people have came in your doors over the years, and it's
Yeah.
amazing.
You know, they watched our kids grow up, you know, from babies when we brought them home, you know, to where they are now. And it's bittersweet. It's
Sure.
very hard. I mean, the day they took the signs off the building, I got real choked up and had to walk to the back of the store. And the same thing when we took the pictures down off the walls. You know, there's just a lot of good memories, you know, and hearing Paul talk about his family and the generations, and you know, it was very hard, but you know, like I said, it's bittersweet, but it was time. So
Yeah, there's, you know, there's some people that question me why I didn't sell the business. I guess the bottom line is there's a family name attached to the business.
Yes.
We've had a pretty decent reputation in the area, and I don't want that. I don't want to hear 4 or 5 years from now that, you know, we were in Bicksler's, we bought some appliances and they did us wrong. I don't want to hear it. It was time to shut it down. You know, there's a lot of companies a lot bigger than Bicksler Electric that never made it 100 years. So I think that's something to be said right there.
Or 50 or
That's
50
true.
years.
That's
true.
true,
And I've
yeah.
been involved in this
Yeah.
particular business for a little over 51 years.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think it's payroll calling.
It'll end soon.
Yes.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
apologize.
oh, no. Paul and Annie Bicksler, you two are a true treat and true legends in Wadsworth. And we
Thank
can't
you.
even thank you for all that you've done. And not only for the store, but you have been involved in the community and supporting the community all the years that you've been in business. And something tells me your ancestors did too.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did. Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Because you can see that always gets passed right down.
Mhm.
So thank you for all that you
Thank
do.
you.
We know we'll be seeing you around.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
and we'll look forward to that. And then also, oh my gosh, just have the best time.
Well, thank you.
Thank
We're looking
you.
forward to it.
Oh,
Truly are.
and thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty.